All right, let's get right to it, folks. This is some bonus coverage. I was ready to just head out until I got stuff dropped on my desk, and they said you got to produce this, sir. I'm like, why? And I'm like, you need to read this stuff. I'm like, damn, all right, no problem. Well, again, here we are. Okay, so welcome everybody to the R2C War Room. I am your host, Coach Stokes. Coach Stokes in the house, and you can see by the gear I'm wearing, you might have an idea of where we're going with this. All right. This is where we talk. We just don't talk football. We interrogate it. Interrogate. And tonight, tonight, we're bringing down a bonus coverage on the Colorado Buffalo. Not the hype version, not the Twitter version, but the version that you actually see showing up every single week in the standings, in the schedules, on the recruiting board, or lack thereof. And I'll touch base with that in a moment. So we're here talking the coach, we're talking the season they had, we're talking the Big 12 chaos that's going on right now, and the recruiting wins and mysteries that are going on in Colorado. So let's go right to the beginning. The man at the top, they call him Dominic Bass Sr., a.k.a. Coach Takeover. All right? He is coming from Notre Dame. He's been coaching for a while. Great motivator coach. That's his architect. He likes to motivate people, right? He likes to make them feel pushed, right? Now, again, that tells me everything, but also tells me nothing. All right? Again, he's been there for a while. As a motivated coach, you're pretty much a culture guy. You're a locker room presence, right? You're not all about the schemes. You're not all about the recruiting ranks. You're just there to be that guy. Keep him in a happy spot, you know? And again, right now, his job security is safe. It's safe, right? Do you want to be safe coming from Notre Dame to Colorado? No. You gotta be up there. You gotta be proving yourself. But again, we'll dive into this a little bit deeper, and I'll tell you why. Currently, his offensive and defensive schemes are just multiple defenses, so it's very flexible, but it's not elite. And we've seen that in other teams and other shows prior to that. But again, Coach Bass is one of those players that all the players like him, right? And they'll play hard for him. But liking your coach doesn't always equal closing 5-star recruits. Doesn't always equal filling out your scouting reports. But I digress. Anyways, the career of Coach Bass, 33-18. Not bad. Coming to Colorado, he finishes off 8-4. Again, respectable, right? Respectable. Here's where it gets a bit ugly. He's been into 3 bowls. He's 1-2. He's played 15 of the top 25 in his career. He's 1-14. 1-14 against top 25 competitors. Okay? That's not a typo, folks. That's hard facts. Told you there was a warning about all this. But I digress. Let's break down the most recent schedule that he had. All right, let's see where all this came about. Here we go. Okay, we got the Buffs right here. Again, they had a decent schedule. Not gonna lie, right? Let's. You want to break it down? We'll definitely break it down into details right now. Again, week 0, they beat Colorado State, and they should. It was 42-18. They should beat Colorado State. I'm telling folks, that shouldn't be a discussion, right? It was clean, it was dominate, it was expected, right? Week 1, they had a bye. That's usually not the norm, but again, because they had the week 0, they had to get the week 1 bye. Week 2, Illinois, they beat Illinois 31-21. Solid win, physical, mature. Again. Then, Indiana, loss. 44-26. This is where the cracks show. Again, defense got exposed. When you lose 44-26, that's definitely what's going to happen. Defense will get exposed. Week 4, we got Kansas State. They beat them. Sorry, Colorado beat Kansas State 24-10. Again, probably their best win of the season. Probably. Then you could debate, whatever. It is what it is. They go off and they lose back-to-back games against Oklahoma State, 39-35, which was a close one, but he still lost. And they lost to Florida, 34-7. And this wasn't close at all. No, this was a reality check, right? Right. Then they had a mid-season reset, and then they finish off the last season with wins against Arizona State, BYU, Houston, TCU, and West Virginia. But then they lost against Cincinnati. All right. Again, they beat who they're supposed to beat. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. So we should not be surprised of the results. Kind of. But that brings up to the whole standings. I look at these standings, I'm like, man, this should be interesting. Why? There's a lot of talk in the chat rooms and conversations in the channels about the Big 12, right? Not only about Colorado, but because of an unknown team that's in the Big 12, JMU, all right? I think the Big 12 should be embarrassed. Plain and simple, they should be embarrassed. You've got a team from the Sun Belt transferred over to the Big 12. Not only did they win the Big 12, but they're going to the playoffs with not one Big 12 team in the playoffs. Colorado, you finished 4th. No dominant power there. And there's chaos everywhere else. So think about it. Is the Big 12 that weak? Why is JMU the dominating team in the Big 12? That's what I want to know. All right? They won their commons and they're in the playoffs. And they're coming from the Sun Belt. Big 12, embarrassing. Embarrassing. All right? Now, let's talk about the school needs here. All right? Let's talk about the school needs because that's something we need to talk about and break down because there's a lot. And how this team recruits baffles me. All right, it baffles me. All right. So again, you can see the chart. All right, quarterback depth is a concern right now. They need it. Right. They need a halfback. Huge need. All right. Interior O-line development. They need all that. Definitely. All right. So the offense works, but it's fragile. Right. One injury, and you're done. You're done. Speaking on the defensive side, now again, they need edge rushers. They need them, and they need a priority for edge rushers based on the offense that based on the defense that they put on the field. Offensively, they're getting crushed. All right, I've seen the secondary. I've seen them myself. Secondary is poor. Linebacker core needs rebuilding. Okay, and the secondary talent exists. It doesn't exist, if you know what I mean. All right. They got starters. And they got no insurance. Sorry. None. And this is what we're gonna go to right now. Okay. Forget the fluff and all that stuff. Like I said, this was put on my desk and I was told to put the show together. And I looked at it and I'm like, what the heck? So let's get to the top 3 guys they have signed here, right? The top 3 recruits that they signed in Colorado. All right. Let's see if you can see the pattern here. Number 1, Montell in gold. 6'2", 327 pounds. He is a defensive tackle. Now, you might be asking, why did he sign him? Heck if I know. I mean, he grown. He a big boy, run stuffer, gap eater because he's big and whatever. But that's it. Did you not want to go into detail on why he fits the system? Like, who's your second in command? Ray Charles? Come on. This is shocking. On to the second signed prospect. Jaron McAllister again. Sorry, is that a typo right there? Damn, I don't think that's right. No, Jaron's on another squad right now. Wow. There it is. Richard McPherson. Yes, another defensive tackle. 6'3", 286 pounds, from Grand Prairie, Texas. Why? Heck if I know. This is why the title of this damn show is called Built on Hope. He's hoping he picked up a great prospect here. Hoping. I mean, that's all we can say, man. That is all we can say. There's another one, Nate Shabazz. I didn't get the graphic up there, but again, another one. No info. How do you know your team is going to perform the way you want to perform if you don't know what they're bringing to the table? Inquiring minds want to know, Coach Baz. What's going on? How do you know this person's going to fit into your system? Until what, the day of? When the ink's just dry and you notice that this guy has, a problem, injury prone? Your top corner is a 79 speed? You got to tell me something. How are you doing this? Anyways, we'll go into the rest of the mystery board, as we call it here, on the current, or the, yes, we'll say the current top prospects he's still shooting for. Still shooting for these prospects, okay? So let's start with the first one here. First prospect, Connor Roach. He's a pass protector, right? Right tackle, 6'4", 320 pounds. Don't know why the heck he's shooting for him, because there's no info. Again, this is the info that was presented to us. This was the info that was presented to the show to produce, folks. So we'll see if he actually gets signed or not. On reasons why, I have no idea. Number 2, we've got Nate Miles, edge rusher. He's the right edge rusher. So I'm going to assume he has some speed on him. You never know. Or he could have some power. Who knows? From Honolulu, Hawaii. And he's coming to cold-ass Colorado, to play for the Buffaloes. I mean, what do you, I don't even know what you do with this. There's no information on why he's shooting for him. None. But he's signing for him. He's looking for them. But okay. And last but not least, we got some numbers here, folks. We got some numbers. Roderick Donahue, all right? Left edge rusher, 6'5", 221 pounds. We've got stats, folks. We've got stats. Look at him. 90 acceleration, 82 hit power. This boy can go. But the rest, no ratings, no traits, no data, no bueno. I'm telling you right now, as I spit the facts, Colorado doesn't know what they're going to be doing next season. There is no information on anyone going into the final stages of recruiting. That's going to be hard. That's going to be tough to walk in this thing blind. You got to know your roster, especially as a first-year coach in that school. And okay. And I've just been told that he fired one of his coordinators this morning. I do believe one of the staples is coaching stability. So you come in there, first year coach, have a mediocre season, and then you fire one of your coordinators, people that have been there before you. Listen, sometimes that works, but you can't build a playoff roster on mystery boxes forever, folks. No. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for these guys, all right? I'm just going to be honest. Buffalo, sorry. Colorado, you're in for some hard time. But again, you're in that Big 12 setting where there really isn't a standout other than James Madison University by way of the Sun Belt. Think about it, folks, all right? Colorado's close, but not close enough. Not close enough. Close doesn't win you conferences, folks. The coach is stable. He has a track record of winning. The roster is a bit solid. Recruiting needs to be fixed. But that's where the story is going to be written right there. That's where you're going to hit the rubber, meet the road, and see what happens next season. He's been saying it. You've heard the press conferences he's had, the articles that were written. He said he has one of the top and best classes he's ever seen in his coaching career. So we're going to see that. All right. So if Coach Bass sharpens his evaluation skills, tightens up his board, this team could jump. If not, they're going to stay exactly where they are. All right. That's it for this episode of the R2C War Room. Again, I thank you for watching and enjoying this breakdown. And if you do like this content, again, like, subscribe, drop a comment, especially if you think Coach Bass knows something we don't. All right? Until next time, fans, you guys have a good one. Peace.